drinking Kool-Aid jammers like I did when I was 9. Cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the time. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple cause it feels like a lie. We play Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Still got my friends, they've been with me for some time, and it's nice to know that they still by my side. Friends are like stars, cause no matter how far, when it's dark outside, they will be your light. We played Halo, and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school, but now learn too much, cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. Months go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime. Years go by, the time it flies, past the days that we drink Kool-Aid in the summertime.
So I'm 3 back. I'm 3 back.
No, that's old. We're well into the hundreds. That's an old score. Is Klay Thompson washed?
No. Could have caught that ball though.
I mean, I guess he could have. Al Horford, the ageless Al Horford, coming in clutch. Just, you know what? Just let Steph shoot the ball.
2-man game.
Curry's one of the. Oh,
yeah, they don't play defense. You see that whole, like the last quarter of Boston's defense has been just amazing.
money. Is that Poole?
Yeah.
Poole's a fucking G.
But again, they don't
Yeah.
play defense now. Look at this game.
You're really defending the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, again, like, what do you do there?
This is the MVZ podcast. We are watching the Celtics Golden State Warriors game. Sorry we took the week off last week between families in town, trying to get my house in alignment, and on call between us. You know, it's hard. I don't know how these people. Granted, I'm not good enough to be a full-time podcast host, but I can see where to bring good content consistently is a career, like legit.
The whole job.
Unless I was a big-breasted chick, because then I would just go on Twitch, and then like the Twitch nerds would watch, and then I'd have a sponsorship somewhere, and then I would do like an accidental nip slip, and bam, fucking viral, made it. Anyway, my last night consisted of completely crawling through my attic and carrying a giant pump bucket full of mold remover, sweating my balls off. Like it was a workout, but I did it. And I think I broke it because it started to like lose the pressure, so like it wouldn't squirt as far. So I was like just holding the nozzle to the wall and just drag.
And now you have the black lung.
I hope not. I bought a nice N95 with interchangeable filter pieces and stuff. I'm hoping I don't have anything. It did itch the skin though. I wore a 3/4 sleeve, but like the area of my wrist and my forearm, like it got really itchy by the end of it. And
that's one of the things I probably would have just paid someone to do.
Dude, just $5,000
to spray mold.
Yeah. And I talked to a retired mold remediator. He's like, "Don't do it. Listen, you can get all the supplies, $100." And it was actually less than. I think it was like $81 for all the stuff.
Yeah, it's hard then.
And he's like, "Just spray everything. And just get the stuff that kills on contact." So I did the research on it. I found it. It was RMR 86 and RMR 141. Those are the two things. One's a mold stain remover. One's a mold remover. So load it up with a concentrate. The concentrate, you buy 6 bags of 2-ounce concentrate, 1 bag for a gallon of fluid. Just add water. And just start fucking spraying. I threw my headphones in and I was just trying to vibe out and spray and trying to keep my glasses from fogging because like don't get the stuff in your eyes. It's non-harmful to your skin. It's like it's not absorbed transdermally. So I felt confident in what I was doing. I did enough YouTubing and Googling from contractors, and I looked at the material safety data sheet that's required by law for them to submit for the product uses, and it's disease spread. It's not even banned by California, and California bans everything that causes cancer. So it's good for everything. It is pain. It's not good to inhale, and it is a skin irritant, but when dried, it's completely non-toxic and you just wipe it away. It's like, all right, I feel good. So I did it, sprayed it, turned the fan on. I brought a battery-powered fan up there. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And then tomorrow, drywall's getting fixed. I'm done looking at that fucking blue tarp. I'm excited. What's going on with you?
Nothing as exciting as that, I guess. Just working a bunch. Been slammed recently. So it's been lame.
Slammed for you is not a good thing.
No.
Slammed for me is all right. It's usually people getting surgeries or they laid down in the bed too long and got a wound.
Which I'm of the opinion that being slammed at my work doesn't have much to do with how much child abuse is actually happening, and more just like kids are a bit more visible at the time. More schools, so schools can call more, just they're more visible. Like in the summer, it's always slower, but it's not like the abuse stops. It's just like no one sees those kids, And a big part of it just depends on how many people are off work for me. Because the more people we have in rotation, the slower it feels. So.
People taking vacations now then?
I don't know what's going on. Feels like there are some that are on vacation. It's whatever.
My pool, refinanced the house to build the pool, and it's been stuck where it is for over a month now. So I legit have orange fence around my pool still, which after you put the fence up, I wanted the kids to play out there and everything. And then they brought to start the pool, so they dug out the big hole and did all that stuff. And now it's like I'm stuck in this stupid limbo, and there's still a mound of dirt that
We had the hole for a long time, and then they did the rebar is like amazing to watch, and then they did concrete, and like nothing else happened again for a long time, and then it was just like one day they came over and just finished it in like a weekend. It was just like, okay,
I'm ready for that because it's pretty frustrating at this point.
mm-hmm.
I told them after they dug the hole and everything that I wanted them, the hole they dug, I wanted that dirt dispersed in the back lot so I could level out and then they didn't do it. So now I literally have a 15-foot mound of dirt sitting next to the pool. That wasn't a foul.
Yeah, I didn't even see him touch
I
it.
didn't see anything. So we missed week 18, which the bettors out there, Zach won. So that was our totals going into the week. 117 and 133 versus 116 and 134. I went 7 and 8. Zach 11 and 5. So bringing it to 127 and
look at my
139.
last 2 weeks, 22 and 9. My last two. In fuego.
And
Dialed
Fuego.
in.
Me 13 and 17. I stayed pretty much on par. Actually, I got worse the last 2 weeks a little bit. So I did 124 and 141. You win. You win the regular season. I don't know if we had a bet. I'm sure we did. You have to listen back to it. But you won the regular season gamble. And to start the playoffs, super wild card weekend. I will say one thing I did do right. I called the Jags when they were down.
Yeah. When you texted me, like, it makes a better story. They're going to come back and win. I thought you were one of the people who's saying that the NFL was scripted for a second. And I was just like, ugh.
Speaking of the pool company, Nicole just texted me. She just sent the email like, hey, get your asses out here. Get to work on our pool.
What is up with the Warriors and their terrible facial hair that they're rocking? Wiggins is bad. Steph's is bad.
I don't think Wiggins has ever grown good facial hair, has he? Uh-oh. Holy shit. Is the NBA scripted?
No. Oh my.
The Warriors rested on that.
They no foul because
They're down 3, one possession game.
They don't have timeout though, so they have to go quick.
They'll have 6 seconds.
Yeah, they gotta go quick to get a good shot off.
Yeah, 4.5 then. He didn't even get that off, did he?
They got it off. 3 seconds to go full court.
Yeah, but Steph is good from half court, so.
Oh, he's taking it.
Shit, that's off Wiggins.
They're not going to review it?
That was a shitty shot, too.
That was nuts.
That was ugly. That was ugly. You'd think Kerr would have had a play drawn up for that.
Nuts ending there.
And then, if we talked last time around, it turns out I have the NBA League Pass. I'll tell you what's crazy. Value for dollar, game for game, you can't beat the League Pass.
No, it's good.
I think it's like $89 a year.
Yeah, it's not bad.
And I think they charge me at like the start of the season. So like once they charge, like, oh, well, it's done now.
Look at this game, tied at 126.
It's been a low scoring fourth though. Compared to the rest of the game.
Yeah. That's when the defense usually picks up.
Yeah, they start playing.
Just more intense defense.
So we were talking player power, NBA, Rich Paul, LeBron, and the NBA or NFL seems like it's starting to realize their power. Lamar, do you think potentially he was holding out for money or
The playoffs,
injury?
Like the playoffs?
Yeah.
He's hurt.
I think he was hurt, especially after the discussion.
Just because
Robert Griffin repeatedly said, like, the worst thing I ever did was play through that with the brace.
Well, plus everyone says like he wanted to play. He would have loved to play as bad as they looked the last 6 weeks without him. He would have loved to play and show him like, this is why you pay me. Look how different the offense is.
It did show them. I think he made the right decision. I don't think it was a business decision. I think that was the best decision overall. Because what good is a one-legged Lamar with no wide receivers?
Yeah.
That's a Ravens decision. That's not even a Lamar decision. Now, clearly Huntley is not Lamar.
No, remember when there's all that talk they were going to trade Lamar and start Huntley?
And he's garbage.
No, he's not good.
He's a lesser everything.
Here's the thing. Sometimes backup quarterbacks flash.
Yeah.
Matt Flynn flashed for a little bit.
And he got a big contract, and he didn't even start the
Pretty
next
normal
season.
for a backup to like have 2 or 3 good games. Everyone's like, is he great? And he's not.
No, it's like
Taylor Heineke, not good.
best quarterback the Commanders had.
No.
He's the best quarterback they have.
Wentz is better. Hal might be better. The thing about
Wentz is a higher ceiling, but a much lower floor.
The thing is, I think that Heineke's not going to win you anything.
My patient just fucking texted me.
I just think that's one of those things where like, it's really interesting with. I think that's where it's interesting with how expectations work. If Trevor Lawrence played how Heineke played this year, people would be like, he's a bust.
He'd bench.
He's
Yeah,
trash.
that's
He's benching.
fair.
Garbage. And then when you're the 7th round backup, everyone's like, he's actually pretty good. And it's like, no, he's not. Like, you know what I mean? Like Zach Wilson's a perfect example. Zach Wilson and Heineke's stats are like almost identical. But everyone loves Heineke and everyone hates Zach Wilson just because of draft capital.
Again, I think that plays into high ceiling, low floor. Zach Wilson fails spectacularly, like Wentz.
So
Heineke's failures are usually at the
but
skill
their
level.
stats were almost the exact same.
Yeah, I get that, but like it's very Heineke's failures. A lot of it has to do like he's just
There's a
not
personality
good
issue
enough.
with Zach Wilson, obviously.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
a big difference. But I just think that
How would you want to play again for the Jets with the first week that he got benched? The whole team is wearing Mike fucking White or whatever. Like, I don't know if I could.
yeah, that's
That
awkward.
takes a huge thing. I don't know if that's a pride and dignity issue. Like, I don't know if I could come back and play for like this good team, knowing I let him down. It would have to take like an off-season program, I think, of rebuilding reputation and
I
humble.
was guilty of it though. The expectation versus I was guilty as a Steelers fan a couple years back. We benched Mason Rudolph for Duck Hodges. I was like, heck yeah, this guy's awesome. He's fun. He was worse than Rudolph. It's just an expectation thing where like I expected nothing from Duck. So anything he did was great. And I, wanted Rudolph to. He was supposed to be the heir apparent, so I wanted him to like show something, and he didn't. So like, it's just like, I don't know. I always find that kind of interesting, how people are measured differently just based on when you drafted them.
That's fair, but it's
Brock
fair on
Purdy's
both
been
sides.
good either way.
You're right, but is it Brock? Is it the system? Is it
Oh,
if you surround
it's a
someone?
big part of the system.
If
I mean, Garoppolo took that team deep.
he's got 6 fucking all-stars.
I mean, yeah, their team is the best situation that you could ever ask for. Best defense in football, best offensive line. McCaffrey's probably the best running back in football, one of them for sure.
Yeah, he has
And then
2
you
of the
have-
best
have-
best left-sided in the NFL, almost in history,
And Kittle, who's the best blocking tight end in football, and then also can catch. And
and they're
Ayuk
all
and
healthy right
Jalen.
now.
Yeah, it's an ideal situation.
Patient texting me again. Yeah, I think Purdy is the equivalent of Taylor Heineke with an all-star cast,
He's better than Heineke.
but his expectations were the same.
Yeah, it's really those interesting things though. So Purdy, everyone's like crowning him the next Tom already, and I'm like, here's the thing. So yes, he's doing what Tom did when he's young. He's doing what Russell Wilson did when he's young. He's doing what Roethlisberger did, what he's done, which is win in a good situation. The interesting part is when you get paid and your situation gets worse, then what? Can you still put up? Can you go from I'm not losing us games to I'm going to win us games? Is a very big jump.
I'm not going to lose. You're going to
Russell
win.
Wilson, when he won that Super Bowl, he was just riding the tide.
Yeah.
But then he did show later, no, I'm awesome. Same thing with Tom. He won some rings and then he throws, he could throw 50 touchdowns. Same with Ben. Ben Roethlisberger, that first Super Bowl he won with Hines Ward and Jerome and the gang, our defense was great.
Don't
he
fuck
handed
up.
it off to the boss. He handed it off to Willie Parker. He was just, not losing us the game, making throws when we needed him, same situation. But then the Super Bowl that he won with Santonio Holmes, Ben put the team on his back in that Super Bowl. Offensive line trash. Like that season, Ben was awesome. So that's the question: can Purdy make that jump,
Keep talking 1 second. I have to give nursing advice to a patient real quick.
or
Keep
does
talking.
he become Alex Smith 2.0? Like good quarterback. I don't think he's gonna be bad. He's shown me enough that I think he's gonna be good. But does it become Neil O'Donnell, Alex Smith, just that type of guy who's like, yeah, he's a guy. Not the same style play because he's not as risk taker, but like a Joe Flacco. Just like a middle of the road. He's a quarterback. Yeah, going back to the power thing we were talking about, though, I always told people, because I remember when Flacco got paid, he was the richest quarterback in history. When Eli got paid, he was the richest quarterback in history. When Stafford got paid, he was the richest quarterback in history. And my cousin was always telling me, he's like, yeah, they're overpaid. They shouldn't have paid him. They should have let him walk. And I'm like, and then what? I think that's the hardest part. And I think quarterbacks are starting to realize that. Like with Kyler, he definitely flexed his muscle to get his contract. I think that it's just like those teams, because they spent so much on their QB and their QB wasn't a top 3 or 4 guy. They weren't Mahomes. They weren't top prime Brady or Manning or whatever. The thing is, those teams, it's like, oh yeah, they're all 8-8 to 10-6 teams. Like you're kind of capped there. The alternative might be 4-12. Like if you have a bad quarterback, it's bad. We went 11-0 with a bad Ben Roethlisberger, an old Ben Roethlisberger, not prime at all. We went 11-0. The year prior, we were scrounging because Hodges and Rudolph weren't good. Same roster. It makes a big difference. Just having a quarterback who, at the time, Ben had the physical capabilities of a bad quarterback, but the mental capabilities of an elite quarterback because he's done it and knew to make the right decisions. So I think that's the hard part. Like with Lamar, what do you do? Even if you pay him so much, it's like, all right, we're gonna be I guess now there's 17 games. We're gonna be 9-8 to 11-6 every year. Like we're not gonna have probably a 13-4 season because we're paying him so much.
Who do the Ravens bring in? Not OC that.
Yeah, they actually said today that they're gonna have Lamar help choose OC.
They shouldn't have traded Marquise Brown then. In hindsight, I know he's more of a slot receiver that was trying to get number 1 money, but
Here's the problem. Trading for him wasn't the problem. It was the draft pick.
What they use it on?
They drafted good players, mind you. They drafted the first round pick. I remember which it was Kyle Hamilton, great safety, and they drafted Linderbaum, great center. They drafted good players. The problem is they don't draft receivers for this guy. At the end of the season, the Ravens receiver room was Demarcus Robinson. I think Willie Snead's back on the Ravens. They had Deshaun Jackson. These are guys who were just sitting at home. That no one wanted.
Yeah, Kyle Hamilton, Linderbaum, David Ajabo,
Look, 3 defensive guys.
tackle, Bilali.
Corner.
Didn't do anything. What? They already had Andrews
Yeah, and Isaiah Likely.
and a punter in the 4th round.
Yeah, and they also drafted another tight end.
Drafted good players and not at the need.
Yeah, do you see any receivers on that
I didn't see a
list?
receiver.
And that's the problem. They could have had Pickens 4 times.
Oh, that's pretty crazy.
You know, Pickens was like 4th in the NFL in big play percentage in targets. And he was like 1st of anyone with more than 70 targets. It was him and Jalen Waddle were the top 2 for people with more than 70 targets, explosive plays. But yeah, I never agree with drafting for need, but then when you see something like that where like they passed on Pickens like 4 times, and that's such a glaring need, you know what I mean? It just doesn't make any sense. All right, so I on Twitter have seen you follow a lot of Chicago people, so it'll be like MVC follows in my feed.
There's some
so
there's some
funny.
lunatics out
It's
there.
so funny when
Think they're
you
gonna get 9
are
picks.
a fan of a team, and then you see what their like fans are saying, and you're not a fan of that team, and you're like, "Are you insane?" Just because of how they value things, and like I'm sure there are Steelers fans that do the same. Don't get me wrong, but the thing is, I don't listen to them. I I follow like 2 people for my Steelers information, or 3 people for my Steelers, 4 actually, 4 Steelers people, and they're all like very unbiased. Like they'll be like, "Our OC sucks," or like, you know what I mean. They'll talk about it. Because I don't want the fluff. Like there's a guy named Andrew Filippone. He's awful. And he's like, he's just like, he's one of those guys. He's like, we should trade Deontay for freaking the 1st overall pick. It's just like, okay. Great advice, man.
So a lot of these people that I follow that you're getting that stuff from weren't that way last season going into the draft.
It's bad.
Like I don't know what changed being having the number 1 pick. That turns out that they think
Like-
they're going to get 3 first rounders,
I
2
saw a thing that
seconds,
said,
and their
would
2
you
best
trade-
players.
Would you trade the number 1 for Washington's 16th pick, Chase Young, and McLaurin? And I was like, yeah, of course you would.
Yeah.
Like, and then there are still Bears fans like, nope, we need more than that. Like Chase Young has an interest. I'm like, that dude was a stud and was the number 1 pick.
That was like 2 days ago. I remembered that. I was in
It
the
was
parent
like-
pickup line when that popped
It was
up.
like 2 years ago, the number 1 overall pick, and has shown that he is good. And then you get McLaurin, and you only move down 15 picks when like 5 of them are going to be QBs. Yeah, in a heartbeat, you do that. Like, the Washington would never do that. That's
right.
too much.
They wouldn't.
Like, even though they don't have a quarterback, it's like that's so much to give an elite pass rusher your 1st round and a good receiver is too much.
Another problem is that there are Bears writers that maybe aren't on the. I guess
Chicago's a big city, which hurts. It's like following, New York.
Right. So there's so many writers and there's so many like kind of independent that still have media passes.
And too many people who are more fans than actual experts.
Yeah. So they have a good writing acumen. So like they write a good article, and then you follow up on it like, shit.
Or my favorite is like if you do the
DeForest Buckner.
Michael Pittman.
Oh, yeah, Michael Pittman. Or like, oh, you're gonna need to throw in Nelson too. And the first like, dude, what are you high?
Right. It's just like no. Like, and then there are some people who are like, we should trade like legitimate stuff to get Hopkins. And it's like, no, you shouldn't. Like nothing good. Like if you want to give a 3rd round pick for Hopkins, sure.
That's where I peak. And then it was like, oh, Hopkins in their 1st round for your 1st round. Well, how can you go to swing that far where you asking for the farm from one team and then just like D-Hop and a
Because
pick?
people are still picturing 2012 D-Hop and they think it's like the farm that they're getting, but they're not. You're getting a guy who's making you $30 million a year and can't separate it anymore. He's still good, but he doesn't separate it anymore, which is different.
He just catches it.
Yeah, he makes contested catches with the best of them, but he's not making people like getting wide open. Yeah,
That's where I'd say I take him over Devontae.
Dude, I've seen him linked to
because
everyone. I've seen Godwin, I've seen Evans, I've seen Hopkins, I've seen
Now, see, Chicago media
Thomas.
is not the problem with the Godwin discussions. That's Tampa. So, because we live
They
here in
should-
Southwest
they should
Florida,
want Godwin.
they're saying that they don't think Brady's coming back,
yeah, they're gonna
and they're going to blow up the team.
yeah. I would love Godwin.
Every team would love Godwin. No, what better number 1 that's been treated like a number 2 his whole career?
Yeah, I'd want Godwin over Evans. if given
All
the choice.
fucking
Age,
day.
Age is just the problem there.
I think route running and drops. Evans always has way more drops than Godwin has had some ankle issues.
Age is just a big problem.
Yeah, it was what, 4 years or 3 years difference?
Yeah.
Is there another game?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. I can't hand you the aux cord if you're gonna keep fucking with shit. I'm watching TV sign off.
Yeah. Yep.
Did you just turn it back onto the Golden State game?
It's TNT.
Okay.
That's what it said, but I knew this was next.
So, Mr. Non-Biased.
Oh, you know what? All right, sorry.
What do you see as a realistic trade option? Wait. Before you do, as a die-hard, autograph Fields jersey, 2 other jerseys of Fields in my house, Bears country, Bears floor mats. I'll tell you what I think the best potential for the Bears would be. So in a golden situation, the Bears would trade with the Texans.
Yes. Swap
And then-
picks and like a fourth or something. in
Right,
addition,
and
so they
then-
secure their guy.
Again with the Colts, so then they can at least choose between Levis
Yeah.
or C.J. Stroud, because he did announce, who was Mr. Drama, who waited until the 11th hour.
He did it to help a coach.
Fair enough. Bears dropped to 4th, which means they're at least guaranteed
Carter or Anderson.
Carter or Anderson.
Those the guys.
I would like to have both of the Texans' first picks. I don't think that would happen, but it might. But that's all you're going to get. You're not getting extra picks. You're not getting a 24 pick. You're either getting 2 firsts
The
this
Texans,
year.
you mean the Colts?
No, the Texans have the 2nd pick and the 12th pick.
They're not giving that to move up one spot.
That's you have to wait until the pre-draft shit. So I would love that. I don't think it'll happen, but I do think if they were to do it, it would involve a 24 first.
I really think realistically it'd be like
Because
you get like the 2nd pick and their 3rd or 4th pick for them to move up one spot. Because they know you're not taking a QB anyway. So they're basically like, all right, you have to trade to someone else. That they have that leverage of like, unless you have Indy on the phone.
right. So that's where
And
I
they
think it would be.
know for a fact that we're both in on the same guy. Because there's 3 guys. Levis, Stroud, and Young.
There should only be 2. I can't believe. How did Levis go up this high? A couple of social media
Happens every
things.
year. No, it's Josh Allen all over again. Which
So
isn't
I
necessarily
think-
a bad thing.
It's all about how
he's all
thirsty-
tools.
I think it's based on how thirsty the Colts are, and after their postseason follow-up, they said they will move mountains to get the guy they want. Mm-hmm. I think that will kickstart some shit.
I think the Colts
I would
are
love
going
to
to be your trade partner.
I think I would love the double trade down from the Texans then to the Colts. I don't think it'll be realistic.
I think the Colts
because
are
I
gonna
think
trade
the
for the
Colts are
one.
going to be so fucking thirsty. We get the 4th, we get Pittman, and we get a 24 first, and then swapping mid-round. That's where I stand.
I think they're going to give you.
You're not getting. I don't think they'll give up Buckner. I don't think they'll give up Nelson. I think we'll swap first.
I think
we'll get there
Buckner
next
is
year
more
first.
realistic than Pittman.
Do you?
Just because I think if they're drafting a quarterback, they're going to want a receiver for him. They don't have anyone else. It's not like they have like 3 options. That's their guy. So I think when they draft a receiver, their idea is going to be.
I mean,
we're gonna have
Texans
20
drafted Malik Willis and traded A.J. Brown. And then thought,
the Titans, but they also didn't think Malik Willis was going to play this year.
Ravens traded Marquise Brown and didn't.
They hate Lamar having weapons. They're like, oh God, he had 1,000 yards. Get rid of him.
So like you can say like, oh, but real life is way more unrealistic in that regard.
Yeah, Lamar's also. They're very run heavy offense. It's a little different. Because you draft like Levis for instance, if that's who they want, which is the rumor that's who they want, they're
Who?
going to want him to
The
have
Colts?
Yeah, they're going to want him to have. They're going to want him to have Pittman. You know what I mean? Like just because he's
If they wanted Levis, the Texans struck gold.
By the way, the Texans having the 2nd pick, hilarious, because they told Lovie Smith he was getting fired before the game, so he was like, F you, I'm winning.
Did they?
Yeah.
Ah.
They had told him before the game that he was going to be
That is the
canned.
biggest F you possible
So that's
then.
why he's like, all right, we're going for it. Go for 2.
Boy, that tight end for the
The Bears need to give him a statue. If they win a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, Lovie Smith needs a statue. Not only from being the head coach before, but for giving you this pick.
put him as a linebackers coach or something. Just let him keep getting
especially
paid.
if you get Will Anderson, a Hall, and he's a big contributor to that Super Bowl.
So I do realize my trade was conservative. What do you think the Colts would give up in that trade? So mine was hey, this swapping first this year, a first next year, swapping mid-round picks, say like Bears 5th, Colts 4th.
I think realistically it'd be like Colts pick 5th, right? 4th. I think it'd be like the 4 for the 1. Colts give their 24 first and their 2nd this year. And then like a 24 3rd and you go up like a 24 5th. I think it'd be something like that. I think it'd be big because they're hopping the Texans is the thing. Like that's why they're
That's
doing
why
it.
it's such a valuable pick. And that's why Lovey fucks
It's like the same
Houston.
thing. It's the same thing with RG3. Like when you're honestly like if you could trade down to Texans, it's the dream because let's say the Texans take Stroud, and the Colts liked Stroud, and then they like Levis too, and they're out on Young. That's when like sometimes the absolute hauls happen. Like the trade for RG3 because
That's 3 first, right?
yeah, it was huge because after Luck went, it was RG3 or bust. So like then it was just like that pick becomes even more valuable because it's the last one that's left. So that's where trading down with the Colts could be huge because say the Colts take Levis and the Texans take Stroud or Young, either one. You might be able to trade down again from the 4 to someone else who's just like, oh my God, Young's left.
That's what that is there, right?
You know what I mean? Like
The real haul would be some other team's 2 first rounders and a player to be
like
named.
the
later.
Lions. Because what picks do they have?
5 and 16 or 6 and 16, 7 and 16.
Because then they might get both those. Like literally, you could get both those if they thought Stroud was the second coming and the other 2 left. Went and they were like, "Oh my gosh, we can use our 2 firsts.
6 and 18.
Yeah, we can get 6 and 18, and we can get Stroud. We're in." Because if Stroud's your guy, 2 firsts, if you really think that's your QB, is not a lot. Even if
No, because it eliminates those teams that trade 3 firsts.
even if you were in the 4th, and they gave you pick 6, pick 48, and 59, like for the Bears to move down 2 more slots when you know a quarterback's going.
The risk is then who's 5th because they're saying the 3rd is the Cardinals that they're going to take Jalen Carter.
Yeah, I'm saying the 3 QBs are gone. So even if Gardner and Anderson go, I'm happy. If as much as the Bears need, I'll happily take like Brian Breesy and have freaking 2 more seconds and and next year or like in this first or whatever, like to move down 2 slots.
The Bears, the Bears have so many holes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's just
Jesus Christ.
like Miles Murphy. I'm happily taking
Is that from Clemson?
yeah. Like I'll happily just take Miles Murphy there and be like, all right.
It would truly jumpstart.
Because you'd get
a
him
whole lot.
and then also 2 more seconds. And you know what you get in the second? Receiver. You'd have, you'd then have like 3 or 4 second bound.
But you see, so honestly, you want to be between the 12 and 17 because that's where Njigba is projected to go from Ohio State. And that's who you want. Considered a number 1 wide receiver who didn't play all season.
Yeah, I dream scenarios. You trade down with Houston. You get like this pick and you get like
Something else this season, ideally.
when's the Bears' second pick? Do they have 33?
No, the Ravens got that pick.
Yeah, we have that pick.
Number 58.
Dang it, we have that pick. I forgot. I was like, you might be able to give 33 up for
54.
yeah. That sucks.
But we have this pick.
Yeah, so you need to get more.
Right.
I
So
mean, that's the thing is they need to trade down. You need to turn that number 1 into 4 or 5 picks in the top 50. I think that's more valuable than picking top 5 even. For the Bears scenario.
that fucking camera froze on us again.
The Bears scenario, I think it's better to. Like I said, I think it's better for in the Bear where the Bear situation is to try to turn that 1 into like what I was talking about. You get the Houston's 3rd. For them to be able to move up to number 1. And then it's like boom, that's another top 50 pick, or that's not top 50, but it's another solid pick. Then you get the Colts to give you, you know, their first and their second and their first next year is like boom, that 2 more picks. You know what I mean? Then you get another team to give you their first and second, and you move down again, and then all of a sudden you have a first and like 3 second round picks. Just because second rounders are good players, especially like in the receiver room.
I'm curious.
Because then you still get, like I said, you still get Miles Murphy at 6 or whatever. And then you have like 3 seconds. And Miles Murphy's probably 3rd on the Bears board.
Yeah, it's smart, but it's not the name.
The hard
Okay.
part is Will Anderson is going to be who you want. Dude's a freaking monster. Will Anderson and Carter are by far the best 2 players in the draft. Position. Like,
And
not-
Jalen Carter fits exactly into the 3 technique disruptor up the middle. Like, he can
I
change
think
a
worst
whole
case
game.
scenario, though, is Chicago just takes Carter Anderson and 1.
Yeah, worst case, still pretty good for changing the whole.
It's a great player, but the problem just becomes like you don't get all that depth, which is what I'm talking about. Like, since you have so many holes, like, what if you could get 2 receivers and a pass rusher and an offensive lineman? You know what I mean? Instead of that one elite guy, and the elite guys matter, they do, but they're not everything. I mean, Khalil Mack on Oakland was a superstar and did what?
Yeah, he was on SportsCenter. The rest of the team was fucking 5-11 or 5-12.
I mean, Myles
5-11.
Garrett. Myles Garrett's been a stud for years, and Cleveland's not been good yet. And they cashed in and got some depth later, but like, especially at the beginning, he was just getting sacks for a team that sucked. Like,
Right. So that's where I'm at. Like, let's build, man. Where I would want 2 first to find a way to get like
that
Skoronski from
trade
Minnesota
hurt.
for the Bears. Yeah. In the long run, he was only good for a season and a half.
What's about the Claypool one?
It does hurt in the grand scheme, unless he turns out to be a fucking superstar this season.
Unless he figures it out. But the fact that he was hurt most of the year, and then that's become the 32nd overall pick.
Yeah, it does. It does
It's
hurt.
basically a first, and a first for Claypool's steep. Just because we drafted him like 54th or whatever, like, and now he's, you know, that was before he was older. That was when the sky was still like the limit.
We'll get there.
That's the excitement right now for Pittsburgh is we have 3 top 50 picks. We have 17, 32, and 49. The dream for me, by the way, is corner with the first pick, then defensive line, then offensive line. That's my dream. What I think we'll actually do is much worse. I think there's a chance we take Jordan Addison at 17.
Jordan Addison.
Yeah. Pair him up with Pickett again. Oh, by the way, the worst trade we didn't get around to it. The worst trade thing that I've seen that Bears fans is thinking that they're going to get the 28th pick from the Bengals and the Bengals like first next year and T. Higgins.
Wait, say that again. Hold on now.
I saw that the Bears thought they could trade 1 for the Bengals first this year and next year and T. Higgins. I'm like, the
Interesting.
Bengals wouldn't do that. Hippie hobby.
Congrats on trying to get fit again, though.
This game sucks.
Nah. Alright. We are back. Had to take a leak. Looks like I fixed a fucking video issue. And a quick look at the OBS stuff, which is open broadcast software for people who do anything on YouTube. You guys are well aware. OBS and Streamlabs are all basically the same. It appears the USB 3.0 and 2.0 are susceptible to video communication interruptions. So, if you're looking into it, if you're on OBS, flip it to a scene that has nothing to do with video. Take out your USB with your cam link, which I'm guessing what you're using because that's what everybody uses. Disconnect the USB associated with video, plug it back in, and then you can go back into that scene because now we're back on with video. It's so ridiculous. And as we're watching this HBO Max commercial, White Lotus, let me know what you think about it. I see we have 5 views, good for us. Don't watch the White Lotus. I don't know anyone who's actually liked it, but it's winning all these awards.
Yeah, it rates well somehow. They say everyone likes it. I don't know who these people are, but
Honestly, same as Westworld after halfway through season 2.
yeah, season 1 was fantastic. One of the best seasons of television ever, I think.
So I'm like I told you, I'm gonna start a different YouTube channel. You guys always see me drink. I'm going dry when I'm not broadcasting. I'm gonna get fit. I don't like walking. Feels like I'm slow and monotonous. And if anything happens, can't get back to my house fast enough with 3 kids. Gotta go quick. The gym, I'm like you. You just get stuck at doing the things you like to do. It's like, all right, I fucking hate bench. So I'm just going to always have a fucking chicken chest with bitch titties. So my goal is to burn off fat. My legs, I've always had good, strong legs. I like bike riding. I put a pair of one headphone in and just ride. Finding time to do any workout.
You're not far from the Kid Hayes Pioneer Trail.
Correct. That is a
biking
good
area.
It's a good 12.6 mile ride.
Yep.
I enjoy it thoroughly. The problem I have with that trail is it ends into nothing.
Yeah, and then you just turn around and come back. But it's a long piece of pavement.
Yeah, good pavement too.
Yeah,
Nice
so
and
it's not
smooth.
bad. It's not bad. If you're doing it for a workout, it's not that bad.
Nicole, yeah, but I enjoy riding the bike.
Yeah, I like looking around and stuff.
And like this computer, built a computer. I have a bicycle. My mom bought that bicycle for me, and she bought one for Nicole at the same time at Real Bikes here in Inglewood. Great bike place, which turns out it's very hard to find a good independent bike shop. They're all getting bought by major manufacturers like Trek, Specialized. This one's still independent. I do love that. Granted, I cannot afford a carbon fiber bike in those places. Do you know how much a good carbon fiber bike costs?
No, $1,000,
More.
$2,000,
More.
$4,000.
More.
I'm out of gases, man.
It's about $6,500 for a really good carbon fiber bike with good everything good. So the carbon fiber bike, carbon fiber
Real Bikes
tires,
is one over by Sunflower, right?
right by Sunflower, right next to
I
it.
stepped in there one day and I
Right.
was like, nope. Like it was like
So you can get the entry level carbon fiber bikes for like $2,000, but the good bikes.
Still, I didn't see a bike under $1,000 in that.
No, you're looking between $45,000 and $10,000.
Yeah.
That is not in my price range. But the bike that my mom got me from Real Bikes actually has a couple of parts on it that cost a lot more than my bike is worth. The rims on the bike, my mom bought that bike for me, I think it was $450. The wheels on that bike were $1,800. So I'm going to buy a carbon frame. Well, Nicole don't know. I bought a carbon frame from China, considered an open mold, not a counterfeit, not anything. It's one that a patent runs out on and then can be used by any company. It's being shipped from Shenzhen, China. You have to wait a few months because there's a lot of transport issues. But it's a bike frame that was the patent was released in 2019. It's the VeloBuild 068. It was a Specialized bike. Specialized is a brand. S-Works. It's a sexy looking bike. Love it. But I want to reuse all my components. It's an older bike. Rim brake. Regular road bike. So I'm going to have a nice light bike. And I am going to bike my way to 200 pounds. Oh, wait, 247. I know you guys can't tell and you can't tell. I'm down 5 pounds in the last 13 days. I see a diet doctor. We're going to get there. We're going to get there. What do you weigh?
I don't know, a lot.
I mean, a lot's not a great answer. So you've started your journey. You started back at CrossFit.
Yeah, I do better not looking at weight for me personally, just because it doesn't fall off as fast as I feel like it should, and then I just feel like get defeated. So I do better just not looking, and then just being able to actually look at pictures and see the difference. Because the hard part too is like sometimes since I'm doing CrossFit, I gain muscle and lose fat, and then weigh the same. You know what I mean? And then like I get into this like lull where I don't lose any weight for a couple of weeks, but I still made a bunch of progress, but you can't tell.
Inches wise, you would look much better. Like
Right.
you'd have.
Right.
You have to do a body fat calculator. Huh?
But I don't know how much I weigh. I went to the doctor around a little after Christmas. What do you think I weigh?
You're 6'1".
Yeah.
Don't flex.
It's a lot of work going into this.
235.
235. I mean, I don't know what I weigh now, but I know it's a lot more than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I weighed when I went to the doctor, it'd have been like the 30th of December, I weighed 270.
I feel like you're thinner than me.
Probably not, man.
I'm 6'4", 247.
Yeah, I'm like 6'1", 270.
You carry it well. You probably have more muscle mass than I do. But every time I look at myself, I can't.
Dude, no, it's wild. Like when you met me,
You were probably
I felt like
55 pounds less.
I felt like I looked a lot thinner. Wait, 230? I felt like I was wearing large shirts, just a large. And like I said, I don't weigh little for whatever reason.
You're just a dense motherfucker. Huh?
Something. I don't know if it's, I don't know if it's bone density. And like, I know everyone else like, but the bones. I don't know. Like I said, but I do know that like, I feel like I could win those carnival games where they have you weigh. I'm like, I'm way fatter than you think I am.
Yeah, fuck you, Carney.
I'm way fat. But like, I remember when I was like in college, and like I look back at those pictures now thinking I'm real thin. I weighed 225, and people were like, what do you weigh, 205, 200, 190? And I'm like, no, 225. And like, people didn't believe. I had one guy be like, go sit on my scale, I don't believe you. And then I stood on, he's like, you weigh 225? And so like, it is funny for me, because like, I get up to like 290 at one point, and I look at that, and I was like, yeah, I looked really, really fat at 290.
So right before Lexi was born, I weighed 228. So
Yeah.
I put 30 pounds back on after I lost from 297.
Well, I saw a thing with Dwight Howard. He, in that like special officer, they said he weighed 265, and I'm like, no, he doesn't. You're not 7 foot tall, and that muscular and weigh 265. He's got way more than that.
I lost 70 pounds. Gained some back. Gained 30 back. And I was like, I'm disgusting. I'm so fucking disgusting. Like,
The lowest I got was like 226. After I was up to like 290, I got down to like 226. I got to 290 and got to like 223 or something. So I lost like 70 some pounds. But like I said, then I gained obviously like 50 pounds back.
last March I weighed 284.
The problem for me is I can just binge, man. I can binge eat with the best of them. I can sit down and eat 30 wings. That's not a problem. I can eat a whole pizza.
Last April was my lowest. I got down to 225.
You know, people eat candy and like their stomach starts to hurt. Doesn't happen to me. I eat a bag of candy. Not an issue.
My teeth will hurt before.
Yeah. Like a bag, like one of those big bags of like miniature Kit Kats. I can just eat that whole bag. Not like a problem for me.
Same patient just text me again. That's the negative side of being a home health nurse. There's no off time. Like you're on.
I will say when I went to the doctor, December 30th, they did my weight, you know, and my height.
What kind of doctor is this?
Just my primary care physician.
Oh, you have a primary. You're such an adult.
It was just my yearly checkup. But anyway, so
A yearly checkup?
yeah.
Good for you.
So, yeah, so I went, and she and I got my flu shot while I was there. But anyway, so I went. They weighed me at 270. I'm like 6'1". They're like, yeah, you're super obese, super obese. But anyway, so then they take my blood pressure, and they go, 120/70. I was like, what? They're like, yeah, that's perfect. And I was like, what do you mean, huh? like you screwed.
We expected your fat ass to be a little higher.
And it's funny because the thing is, people guess me lighter than I am, but then at the same time, like once you see the stats, you're like, this is a fat mother effer. And then like you probably see me fatter at that point because you're like, oh man, like he's 270. Yeah. It is always funny that I always laugh though when you go to your primary care physician. Like even when I got real heavy, you know, like I was like weighing like 286, 290 when I'm at the doctor, and they're always like, yeah, so like maybe instead of French fries, eat salad. I'm like, oh, is that healthier? Like it's just the dumbest thing ever. Like everyone knows. It's not like they have this secret where they're like, you know what, you're fat. Like, and what I also hate about dieting is when people are like, oh, don't eat
Everyone's got advice.
apples because it's 300 calories for an apple. Like that's a lot or whatever. A banana, like, and I'm like, okay, I've never met a fat guy. I'm like, what do you eat? And he's like, freaking bananas. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just eat like a ton of apples.
If you saw an obese guy that his favorite thing is a mixed fruit plate,
Yeah.
all right, then you can talk to me.
Yeah, because that's never the case, is it? Like, you never see a really fat person who's like fat from eating fruit.
Yeah, never.
Because you know why? Because it probably fills you up.
Oh, but yeah, well, fiber content, yes,
And
absolutely.
that's probably why, even though it's high calorie and has like those natural sugars, it fills you up so you stop eating. You eat cake or ice cream or brownies, like you don't get full the same way. Your body burns off that energy quickly and then just stores it as fat.
Yeah, natural sugars versus artificial sugars.
But it's funny because I hear a lot of people all the time like, oh, apple juice is the same as soda. No, it's not.
Just like
Again,
people
I don't know
who
any
love
fat
keto.
guy who's just like, I drink a bunch of juice and I weigh
Well,
400
actually,
pounds.
those people could. So if you eat a bunch of juice, you're
could.
removing the fiber and you're getting all the sugar
And I
from
know
it.
you can, but I'm saying you don't see that.
Right.
You don't see a person who's like, yeah, I just, I eat healthy. I just drink a gallon of apple juice every day and I weigh
Yeah.
400 pounds.
Yeah,
Like-
it's usually Mr. 12 pack of Mountain Dew.
Exactly.
He's the guy.
It's people who are eating cookies and candy and cake. That's where you gain your weight. It's not from apples. So like I said, that's my hardest part. I get irritated with people trying to give you stupid advice. I'm like,
The oblivious shit.
or
Yeah.
you eat peanut butter and jelly and they're like, that's not healthy. And I'm just like,
Other than the bread, it probably, well,
and like, cause they're like, well, jelly's kind of like sugar, and they're like, there's like a high sugar content, so those calories. Like, they're like, peanut butter has, you know, some fat in it, and then they're like, and then bread's carbs, and they're like, so it's really not that healthy for you. I'm like, okay, I'm not saying peanut butter jelly or salad.
it's not a
It's
superfood,
peanut
right?
butter jelly or pizza or a cheeseburger or chicken wings, you know, like boneless wings. It's better than those things. Like, and that's, you know, that's the thing. Like, spaghetti, chili, you know, those things are considered. Then people be like, well, spaghetti's not good for you. It's better than a lot of the other stuff, especially if you get a lean meat.
So
and,
you
like,
talk about that. So that's funny you talk about the spaghetti. The Mediterranean diet is considered the healthiest diet on the planet, which is loaded with high amounts of saturated fats. It's the fattiest diet on the planet and considered the healthiest.
But like, people just get lost in like I'm like, you're not gonna get like, I'm not gonna have success if you're just like, you're gonna eat salads and drink water. It's not
Yeah.
gonna work. Like, yeah, yes, that's better for me. I get it.
Yeah,
It's
make better choices.
Yeah,
That's
eating salad and only grilled chicken and fish. Yes, that is better. But like, unrealistic.
Right. So like, we both like shitty foods. You say you can binge with the best of them.
I think
Now,
eating this, not that, is a better type diet for me.
I have a caloric manager, this app. Every barcode you scan uploads all this shit. Now, veggie straws are not good for you at all. I realize that. But their serving sizes significantly higher than like Doritos.
And again, people will say like, "Oh, well, veggie straws, you might as well just eat potato chips." No,
No. You're
see,
correct.
people say that,
You're right.
though. And
So
it's
like a
not-
serving, I just did this, a comparison of veggie straws and Cool Ranch Doritos. So I can eat 68 veggie straws, or like it said like 238 grams of Doritos, which honestly I think is like 17 chips. I want the crunch. It's not the flavor. It's not anything else. Well, you can eat celery. Stop.
yeah, again, like I said, I hate people when that's like their stupid advice.
Don't give me your extremist point.
Don't eat boneless wings. Just put barbecue sauce on broccoli. Shut up.
Well, it takes you more calories to chew on a piece of celery than it does to consume it.
Yeah, you can kill yourself
Shut
eating
up.
celery.
Yeah, kill you. If I'm gonna eat celery, it's gonna be dipped in
Peanut butter.
or ranch, which I want to see the river flowing of ranch.
Yeah, that's like
It's 68 veggie straws right there. Zesty Ranch veggie straws. 68 of them. That is a great serving. 68 is a shit ton of
I
veggie
found a
straws.
recipe that I absolutely adore for a dessert. It has protein powder in it. Xanthan gum is just like to hold stuff together.
Okay.
You get like a zero sugar protein pudding mix.
Mm-hmm.
Some ice, almond milk, like unsweetened almond milk. Here, but like you blend it all up, and it becomes like you get a whole entire blender full of like ice cream with whatever flavors you choose for the protein powder.
Kind of like a frozen Buckeye almost, huh?
like you pick your. I did vanilla protein powder, and then I did a cheesecake flavored pudding.
Mm-hmm.
And then you blend it all up with this ice and almond milk, and almond milk's like nothing.
35 calories
Yeah.
per serving if it's unsweetened.
Yeah, so the whole entire blender was 300 calories for ice cream. So me and my dad split it. We each ate I ate more than I needed to. It was 150 calories. But I was like, I'm gonna meal prep that. I'm gonna blend it, put little bowls in my freezer. I love ice cream. And so to me, that's gonna be a game changer. Because it was a lady I follow on TikTok who her recipes are low calorie, high volume recipes, which to me is important.
Do you have a Reddit account?
I mean, I have a Reddit account, but I don't follow anything like
All
that.
right, let me send you. It's called volume eating.
Because that's huge. for
That
me.
I want a big ass plate.
Yep.
So a lot of stuff is based with balsamic vinegars and stuff like that. So
And weirdly,
flavors.
what's worked for me the most, I tried counting calories for a while. I tried doing those things that never worked for me. Because I would actually get hungry just thinking about, okay, I've eaten 1,100 calories a day. I really don't want to put myself in starvation mode. I need to eat, at least 1,400. You know what I mean? You do that math of, as a man, I need to eat at least 1,500 calories in a day. So then like I'd make myself eat
To
that.
risk losing muscle mass, yes.
Right. And yeah, and like I don't want to slow my metabolism. So like, you know, I would like make sure I got that and then like make sure I'm under this. Like it's too much work. So what I found out worked actually the best for me was just go to CrossFit. Like just lifting weights, like obviously burns a lot of calories, but like was doing that and just high protein foods. That works the best for me because like
So you like to create your deficit, not control it.
I said, I don't even like look at calories. Like if I'm
Right. So
if
like
I'm
you're creating
hungry-
your own. You
Yeah.
know if you burn enough, you're
Exactly.
straight.
And then just not eating junk. Like I said, that's what really worked for me best. It was just like if I'm hungry, eat a protein bar, have a protein shake, eat chicken, eat things that are like high protein, low fat items. So they're just high protein, low calorie type foods. But like otherwise, like if I try to count calories, I end up just starving myself. I feel hungry all the time and like it doesn't work. Like so I did a lot better. Like the best protein bar on the absolute market. It's a plug right now. Best protein bar, not by flavor, but by sheer stats. Kirkland's protein bars. They're insane. Can you pull them up real quick?
Is that Costco?
It is Costco. Go to Costco.com.
So as I'm typing this,
Yes, that one. If you look at the stats, unmatched. I hate that flavor. Or not, that's not the flavor I hate. I hate the cookies and cream one. It makes my tummy hurt. But I like the peanut butter ones, but it doesn't matter. Just look at the stats. They're all the same, basically. Yeah, here, go,
which one's your favorite flavor?
go to the left.
What's
There's
your
a
favorite?
12-pack. Peanut butter. There's like peanut chip. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's right. I got my blocker
right.
on.
Oh, it's on Amazon. They sell them on Amazon? I wonder if they're more expensive on Amazon.
37 for a pack of 20, 90 cents per bar. Do you want me to order them for you
That's
right
not
now?
math. 90 cents an ounce.
My bad.
My dad has a Costco membership, so I get him at Costco. It's $55 for 40. Wait, look at the stats on that. Go. Just go over that.
55 for 40.
Yeah. It used to be 40 for 40, which was amazing. So anyway, I think they might have the stats highlighted on one of those pictures. No, they don't. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, right there. That's all you need. 2 grams sugar, 4 grams net carbs, 21 protein, 15 fiber. I mean, you can't tell me like the stats on that are insane. I think it's like 160 calories or something, or 140. It's 140 calories too. It's 140 calories. I mean, that is. I mean, like I said, are they the best?
Calorically, that's pretty great.
Are they the best tasting protein bars? No. Are they gross? No. Like once you've had a couple, like I start to crave them because like I get used to the texture or whatever.
So speaking of that, 21 grams of protein, that fucking meat stick, that 4505.
Yeah. That one has like no fat though, obviously. It's just all protein and fiber. And that much fiber, what that does to your metabolism is good stuff. But yeah, like I said,
If you eat a shit ton do they back you up?
No, they don't back me up. They make you go if you eat too many because it's fiber.
Yeah, but with that much protein per calorie.
It'll make you gassy if you have too many of them
Okay, so that's the start of the not being able to poop.
because of the fiber.
That's the start.
But yeah, anyway, love those. Like I said, and those are ideal because they're filling for me too because of all the protein and fiber, you know. So like I love keeping those in my house, and then like if I get hungry, I have like one of those.
I wonder what the
The only complaint about that obviously would be the
there it is. It's sugar alcohol. Erythritol.
yeah, it's in a lot of stuff. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Xylitol. There's 6 of them. Allulose.
but yeah, just though the stats on that are just
It's a pretty
I mean, you can't beat those
that's
stats.
strong. That's strong.
You don't see that high fiber and stuff.
Right.
Is really the key.
That's where it kills Quest.
Yeah, and like I said, so that's my jam. Like I said, I'm gonna order some here soon. I can bring one over for you to try. Like I said, they're not the best necessarily.
Yeah, I'll just order some. Be here in a few days.
Yeah, those are my. Like I said, those are my jams. Just because like, I like it, it's guilt free. Because to me, I'm like, if you're hungry, right, and you eat that, even if it's like, oh, I went over 140 calories. You didn't eat over 140 calories because you had a candy bar. You just got a lot of protein and fiber instead. Like,
Yeah, it's not the same.
yeah, it's not the same thing. Like,
I know they say calories in, calories out, but there's also
and that is
what's
math.
in your
That
calories.
that is math for losing weight, I believe. But like, it does. That's not math for metabolism and muscle mass and all those other things that go on.
Cravings. So, like, if your cravings is sweets, if you don't have that bar or something, like,
Well, plus
you're not going to satiate that, and then you're going to end up binging on something, and then if that doesn't hit this,
Well, plus if you eat like a package of Reese's cups or you eat like a Twix bar, I'm not full from that. You're eating that for joy, and then I have to eat something else. Like if I'm hungry, so like, I really liked like when I was losing a lot of weight, I'd have like eggs for lunch or 2 peanut butter Jelly sandwiches and one of those bars for lunch. Have like like I might have another bar as a snack later, but like I said, I guilt free on those. Because not even like some protein bars, you get your protein, but they're also high in fat. Like that sausage link was a great thing, but like if you have like 6 of those in a day, that might make your fat. That might be too much fat. You know what I mean? Like I don't know how much this should be. Oh no, how much is it on the line?
$2.30. Oh yeah. Oh, plus $5 delivery.
So $2.30 for one. I mean that's
That's not
as
that
as I
bad.
would have expected.
Oh, they're good. So we are very blessed in that we have what they call is it a sunflower market.
Yeah, because they're building another one in Sarasota.
So the sunflower market is this all the proteins,
Like a
vitamin
Second Chance
shops.
grocery store.
Truly, it's a second. Truly, yeah, it's like Save a Lot, Big Lots, all that stuff. But it's mainly for foods that are close to expiring, maybe expired, but as
But the expired things aren't like milk, cheese. They're like cans of stuff.
Adam Ruins Everything has described, Best Buy date has nothing to do with the food expiring.
And it is different. It's Best Buy, it might say Best Buy something, but it's still safe. Best Buy is different than like Sell By or Used By. The used by, like milk will say sell by date, and it's basically like, hey, look, it's got like a couple days after this date. And then
But if you're looking for like protein to everything like this,
that's a good one.
24 grams of protein, and it was what 170 calories.
Yep.
You cannot beat that.
And I think it's like another snack I like to have like at home is like I like having like beef jerky. Like I said, that's the kind of stuff like I was keeping around the house, just like high protein type snacks. And there's like when I'm hungry, I'm eating.
I need something.
Like I said, like I'm not gonna starve myself. I'll eat beef jerky. I really like in an ideal world, if I was really a go getter, I would keep like chicken breasts that I've cooked and seasoned and like cut them up, like pre-cut them up in like little squares or whatever, and just have them in Tupperware. So if I get really hungry, I can just heat them up and eat them because I eat that every day.
You need me to make you some? I can make you some chicken jerky.
Like that's how I was like I would eat that, and like chicken again is such a good stat food.
Yeah, because it's such a low fat.
Yeah, high protein to low fat, and that's the thing is that's what I really do the best, and it's just high pro. Like it's not keto, because keto is like high protein, high fat, no carbs basically.
Mm-hmm.
To what has been successful for me is basically just protein, like just it try to do low fat just to save the calories, not to avoid the fat necessarily. Like have some fat in my diet because you're gonna get some.
You need some.
Yeah, and you need some, and I'm not gonna accidentally not have fat in a day. Like you have to purposefully cut out fat entirely to not get fat.
So mine is intermittent fasting. That's my biggest benefit
That works for you.
by a lot.
Everything.
If I don't start my day eating something, like if I know that I'm going to be busy until 2:00, I'm good until dinner. I have restless hands. If I'm sitting stagnant, I need something to shovel into my fucking pie hole. So if I'm not doing anything and I'm bored and we're not doing anything around the house, I'll find something to cook and eat. But if I have a snack like that beef snack, that'll tide me off, especially if I'm busy. So I know that I'm eating something. I get that I'm eating meat.
And I don't like cutting carbs out entirely, but what I try to do is I try to cut carbs out of my snacks. So I don't snack on like chips and bread and stuff like that. But then like when I eat dinner, it might be spaghetti and there'll be some noodles. And I might have a chicken and rice. Like rice is a good one I feel like to add. And like so that's why I try to do like I'm gonna again like it's like the fat thing for me. I'm gonna get my carbs. Like that's not.
So that's what we do. We're talking about eating
They
noodles.
they have a lot of Bonza at Sunflower.
We love Bonza chickpea noodles.
Do you know they have a ton of that at Sunflower almost all the time?
We had a pretty good surplus.
Mm-hmm.
So if you love a noodle and you need that, eat a chickpea noodle.
Yep, I love chickpea noodles.
It's got fucking 10 times more protein in it. You're still eating a pretty good amount of carbs, but
and depending,
as far as like the nutritional value
I like
goes,
black soybean noodles with like if I'm gonna do that in pesto, so good. But like that with spaghetti, the texture's off. It doesn't work. Like it's funny how like certain noodles like don't work that way.
So you like pesto?
Yeah,
That's good to know.
like black soybean noodles with pesto, it is the texture of it actually complements the pesto. It's good stuff.
I'm going to make not mine.
Beth has
Nicole's
been on an
recipe that
Asian
I
kick
cook
recently. So
I love Asian. Nicole just told me today she wants to have some sushi this week, which is
another good one.
a shit ton of carbs, but it's just because of the natural white
But
rice.
but it's low calorie food still.
And you're eating fresh seafood and like
Yeah, and that's the thing is like again like I don't worry about like I said I'm gonna get my carbs, but like sushi's another one you can have an entire sushi roll and it's not that many calories depending on unless you get something crazy.
a full blown deep fried.
Yeah, and you get like crazy sauce on it. But like if you just eat like a California roll that's like crab and celery and carrot like
avocado, so it's
Yeah.
gonna be loaded with fat, but it's gonna be healthy for you.
yeah, but it's good stuff.
I'll have Nicole get up the recipe and I'll make a turkey burger for you. It's
I
the only
love-
burger I've ever had in my life I never needed a sauce for. Off the grill, into my mouth.
I like turkey burgers. Bethany can't eat turkey, but I guess
What the fuck?
It, like freaks her out or something. I don't know. It's just like the smell. But yeah, like I've been getting from Sam's. I get the 93% lean ground beef anymore. Yeah, I said that's another like green again the green beans. That's another perfect example of like my grandma will be like, oh well, green beans don't have as many nutrients as freaking broccoli. Okay. It's still a vegetable that I like, and I hate broccoli. So, you know what I mean? Like I can eat like if you make green beans with like if you cut up an onion, you put that in green beans, and like especially if you cook the green beans in like beef broth or something, and broth is like pretty low in calories by the way, but like you cook it in beef broth, I can eat a plate.
So green beans are one of my cold snacks I love. So I blanch them, I undercook them, pull them out, throw them in some glassware, and I throw them in the fridge. I pull them out, I sprinkle some salt and pepper on them, and I eat them like a potato chip. So they're still a little moist with some salt. Like I just love the crunch on the skin and the flavor of some salt and pepper and some garlic on it as I blanch. Oh, I love an ice cold green bean.
Like one of the hardest things like to substitute for. Do you hear I make healthy pizza hardly? Not
No,
that
because
it's
even
the same.
cauliflower is so processed. Like
Yeah, the cauliflower crusts like are still high in calorie and they're still not.
Yeah, just eat 2 slices instead of 4.
Yeah, and eat with something else. Have 2 slices of pizza with some green beans or something else to supplement to fill you up. But what my favorite
After you eat a salad to push it through.
Exactly. Eat a salad before you eat pizza. Drink a full glass of water and eat a salad before you start eating pizza. So you're
full quick.
Yeah, but my favorite pizza that's healthy is you get those Extreme Wellness tortillas.
Mm-hmm.
You see them, they're like 45 calories for like a big tortilla. And then I get one of those sugar-free barbecue sauces to use as my sauce.
I have several in the fridge right now.
Yep, and they're good. And then I take chicken and like cook it and cut it in little cubes, put that all on it, and then get the skim milk mozzarella. Put that on it, and I cut up a red onion and put it on that, and like the whole pizza Like the whole little thing's like 120 calories or something. It's like nothing, but it tastes kind of like a chicken barbecue pizza. It's good, but you
Sweet
can't
Baby
do
Ray's
it
has
marinara as well.
Sweet Baby Ray's has a new sweet and spicy, no sugar added, 15 calories per tablespoon.
Yep. That's why I say like that's something I like, and I'll probably
You can
make
adapt to get my kick. I just need my fix.
and it doesn't work for like real pizza. Like obviously it's not like if you want a pepperoni pizza, it's not the same.
Honestly, yeah, but you know what? Some of my favorite pizza joints will let me down.
But like if you like a chicken barbecue pizza from time to time, like I do, that's it's a craving. But even if you took the tortilla and you put marinara sauce on it and that skim milk mozzarella, if you did like bacon bits and like onions and green peppers, like it tastes like a pizza to be really good. You just gotta the hard part is you gotta kind of avoid the sausage and pepperoni because those things
cured pure fat meats.
those things will get you. But yeah, I really do well with those things. Like high volume is really. I need to find that Reddit page. This is volume eating. Do they try to do things that are like healthy? Obviously,
I'll send it to you right
obviously
now.
they're not like eat a whole freaking pie.
Actually, some of the stuff, it's legit. Like a popcorn bucket is like this was 315 calories. There's some geniuses.
No, and that's the stuff that worked for me. Well, I need high volume, low calorie stuff because
There's 450,000 members in it,
the thing is I like.
and there's cauliflower buns. Let me sort by top posts all time.
Yes, do it.
Cauliflower buns. Yeah.
Buns is number one
Hold on.
all time. They must be good then, huh?
So people can see it.
So is the point to try to make kind of healthier things in
It's
this group?
the goal is to have healthier food,
Those are donuts.
right? Because people like fat food. All right. So half a kilo of spinach and lentils. Hold on. Air fried baby carrots, especially if you're going to add like a glaze onto it and not eat. Pita pizza, like 382 calories for two.
Yeah, see, like that's what I need. So I eat 4 of those bad boys for a meal and not feel bad. Because here's the thing, I don't eat a big breakfast. So like for me, it's really easy to get to like eat like 2,000 calories a day. If I don't, I could eat like 800 calories or 1,000 calories each for lunch and dinner and be fine.
The Joseph's Flex pita breads, those are delicious. Little drier.
Because I always tell my
Pasta sauce, Greek yogurt.
because my dad eats a bigger breakfast, so it's harder for him. But like for me, like I could eat like one of those protein bars, have like 140 calories for breakfast, and it's like okay, my losing 2 pounds a week is like 2,000 calories for my remaining 2 meals. So I have like 1,000 calories per meal. So I can, you know what I mean? I could really, and if I eat a healthy meal, I have room for a snack. But I'm not one of those people who needs like a 400 like I do feel bad for women in that regard that like their lose 2 pounds might be like 1,400 calories. I'm like the hard part is the reason it's not fair is like I understand how they say like women aren't as hungry
The
like
Gatsby chocolate, that's what I sent you.
yep like
These are fucking, so if you, I know we're a sports podcast. I feel bad that we're diverting to this. If we're going to do like this diet stuff for like the off season, I think that's what we'll do. Like, what did you do this week? What can we do? How did you contribute? So I did create that cycle for 200, cycle to 200. These Gatsby chocolates are so fucking delicious.
we should in the off season after the Super Bowl try to bring one new food you found each week
we can do that.
that you've tried, not just like hey, I found this online, like whether it's a snack or
But so this fudge brownie one, hard as shit to find. You have to pay the $4 per bar. Mm-hmm. Walmart has the almond dark, cookies and cream dark, or cookies and cream, and then it's out of stock all the time. But like, if you need a sweet tooth, Gatsby has got you covered because there's not a whole lot of really
Right.
good.
and that's what's with the women thing that's hard. It's like if I want a Blizzard, we'll say I can have a small Blizzard for 600 calories and still easily stay under 2,000 calories in a day.
But like for Bethany or Nicole, it would
like,
just
if
fucking
you- if
ruin
you-
the day.
Yeah, if you want 1,400, it's like you can't have a full. You better eat a salad for a meal because you only have 800 left. You know
Yep.
what I mean? Like and that's the thing is like that's where it's unfair,
You better take 4 tablespoons because that's all you can get.
and that's where it's completely unfair. So you can fit in a giant junk thing as a man, and then it's like, yeah, you eat like one meal where it's just like, oh, I had grilled chicken and green beans, and it was 600 calories for my meal, so I'm back on track. You know what I mean? Like, so sort by top rated all time again.
Oh, and it's slowing me down.
The one that said big lunch for 250 calories, that looked terrible. It was like grape,
yeah.
strawberry, a string cheese. I'm like, yeah, that's not a secret. That if you eat fruits and vegetables and like,
125 calories for it's just cake batter.
yeah, again, like those are the type of things I need. Some desserts, some. My favorite high protein, high volume dinner. 53 grams of protein.
That's a
Let's
lot.
go.
That's probably tzatziki sauce then. It's me with
That's
Greek yogurt.
guaranteed.
Yep. Let's see. Greek yogurt.
Greek yogurt instead of sour cream is such a cheat code for health foods, and like weirdly not that different. Yep, non-fat Greek yogurt.
It is a cheat code if you're looking for that creamy.
Yep. I'm usually good without it. That's like meat, man.
Oh, if you're looking for a little just a little snack to get a sweet tooth, just use no sugar Jello. So it's 15 calories for a whole package. So you're getting the sweetness of like, oh, this is the blue raspberry or the strawberry
Just heat
version.
yourself up a whole entire quart.
Yeah,
of
that way
chicken
like,
broth,
you
man.
realize you had a whole box of Jello.
Just drink chicken broth, bro. It's like 60 calories for a whole quart. Like that's the dumbest one I've seen.
Chicken fried rice.
Good stuff. Yeah, those are the type of good ones for me.
Oh, that looks good.
And I'd eat double that. That's the thing is, I would eat double that probably at a sitting, but that's all I'd have, and it'd be 700 to 900 calories. But like that's fine.
That's a lot. Yeah, you're eating a shit ton because that's a pretty good sized walk.
Right. And again, like that's where I'm at. Yeah, we probably should do the picks. We're on an hour
Yeah,
and 40 minutes.
Oh yeah, we really dragged it out. All right. So last week, I see you can see mine are already on there, but last week I felt so fucking confident in my games. For the most part, right. Didn't hit spreads, but Vegas wins, Mike loses. Seahawks at Niners. I think probably 90% of the people got that right. I don't think anyone thought Seahawks were going to do anything in that one.
So
Geno looked outmatched by fucking Brock Purdy.
yep. Give me the Chiefs.
Hold on, Playboy.
Give me them. Can't wait.
Chargers, Jags. I think because the way
if you would have offered us to switch our picks at halftime, we both would have.
some of them,
No, I'm saying the Jags game.
no,
27-0, you wouldn't have switched to a 2.5 point spread.
I thought they were going to come back more. If it weren't for that stagnant point at the end of the third, early fourth, Jags would have won by 10.
Yeah, 27-7.5, I would have switched if you'd have let me.
No, I was confident because I wasn't even watching the game until halfway through the second. So like I already knew they
So
were
you didn't
down.
have the bias of watching the beginning. Where
Right.
It was like, oh, good Lord, this team is not in the same ballpark as this other team.
I was talking to my dad on the phone. Seahawks knew right out the gate before the game even started. Different league.
The Bills game was embarrassing for the Bills. They
Which
shouldn't have been
so
that close.
like the Bills won by not enough,
By
and they just
3.
look, and that's why I texted you. That's why are they the most disappointing talent in the league?
After watching this weekend, if the Steelers got in, they would have beat the Bills. Pickett's better than Skylar Thompson. You can't tell me he's not. And our defense is better than theirs. I think we'd have beat them. Maybe they wouldn't have came out as flat Maybe there's some divisional stuff going on there. But like after watching it, I was like, we could have beat the Bengals or the Bills. The way those two teams, the Bengals and Bills played, I think the Steelers could be either of them.
And there's something to be said about what they call the teams that play down to their opponent.
Yep.
Let me switch this so people can see all the way.
So the Giants were the feel-good story beating the Vikings. However, I think the Rodents here, I think they get obliterated this week. Same with the Jags. I think the Jags and Giants both get killed. I think they're the feel-good stories of this week. Like, oh, the upsets. But I think they both get absolutely murdered this week.
You think? Hold on. So I took the Jags, and that's purely for the cover. Mm-hmm. Where'd you say?
Chiefs. I think the Chiefs and the Eagles both beat the brakes off those teams. I think they're both the feel-good stories of like the upsets last week, but I think they both just destroy them.
Okay.
Like the Giants,
I took the Eagles just because
the Eagles, like the Giants aren't gonna be able to put up points against the Eagles. Really, it's gonna be the issue.
I just think a healthy Hurts now, fully loaded offense with
and
the week
that
off.
defensive line, it's just be bad.
The Chiefs have struggled, and I think they're like 31% of covering the spread over the last 3 years.
I wonder how that changes in the playoffs though, because they rock some people in the playoffs. Like
I think they let people in at the end.
Is
I think that's their problem.
But do you think part of the regular season is this coming out a little flat? They're like, oh, it's September. You know what I mean? Like, have you seen? You know what I mean? Like, do you think that's part of it?
I think that's kind of the Chiefs all the time, not just the playoffs.
No, that's what the playoffs.
They just want to see how. No, I think that's the Chiefs. They want to see what other people have before they unveil a play if they need to. I think they have such a genius in Andy Reid. We don't need to beat you by 25. We're going to beat you.
And I'm going to take the Bills over the Bengals.
I think the Bills win as well.
Yeah, I think they win. It could be a touchdown, right? So like,
I think they win by 2 points.
Okay. And I'll take the 49ers. I think the 49ers beat the Cowboys pretty easily.
I think they roll them. They're in San Francisco. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's going to be a misty game. I think that's going to be a wet ball. And I think the front seven of the 49ers stop my boy Tony Pollard. I think Zeke is flat. I think Zeke needs to be released and eat that dead cat for a year.
Who do you think it goes to the Super Bowl for each side? And then who do you think should go?
It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Chiefs Niners.
And you think that's who deserves to be there the most? You think that's who should go?
I think the Eagles should beat the Niners, but I just feel like it's just going to be.
I'm in the exact same ballpark.
magic.
I think the Chiefs, Niners are who go. I think the Chiefs should go.
But I think the Eagles should
I think the Eagles should go.
I think the Eagles will make mistakes.
Like I said, I think the Eagles
A turnover mistake will
are probably
cost
the better
them.
team. It's hard to say that though, because like they dominated so much with their line all year.
One has an MVP candidate, and one has a 7th round rookie.
Yeah, the issue is I thought the Eagles had the best roster in football until like now the 49ers defense is healthy, and they have the better defense hands down between them and the Eagles. And their offensive line's better than the Eagles' offensive line. Their running back is better. The Eagles have better receivers.
I think the 49ers have the best top to bottom. I think the quarterback is way better in Philly.
I think the 49ers are going to win the Super Bowl.
I don't.
I think they're rolling. The way their defense has played and their offense is putting up like 30 a game the last 6.
I think Andy Reid has 15 fucking plays ready to unveil.
No, I think they can score some, but
I'm gonna be pissed off if this fucking rookie Brock Purdy wins. I will, because I don't want Shanahan to win based on his scheme. It just takes away from talent.
He's a great coach, man.
I get that. He still lost 28-3.
Yeah, he might be the best.
No, I still think Andy Reid's the best.
Shanahan wasn't the head coach. He's the OC, right? For the 28-3.
He's the one that called the plays.
I understand.
Yeah.
But I mean, but the problem is
against that gray-haired.
It's one of those things that's hard. Was he in his ear being like, "Don't throw the football"? You know what I mean? Like, don't. You know, like
They shouldn't. No. They did throw the football. Was the problem?
Right. But I mean, okay. So
there's a sports science thing. If they had have taken a knee every single play from halftime on, the Falcons would have won.
Yeah. Okay. So that's one where or 28-3 on maybe. But anyway, so
yeah, it was halftime. First play, the first drive after halftime. I think.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I wonder though if maybe the head coach was like, go for the jugular, go deep. Just because, like, it is hard if your boss is telling you to go do something. So, yeah, I think it's been a great pod. We've went almost 2 hours.
We fucking diverted so far.
Yeah.
It has been a wunderbar. Oh, look, we froze back up again.
Great. All right. Well, on that note.
I don't even know what this. Oh, look, it just did it. When I hit enter.
The saying, see you next Thursday, guys.
Yeah. We'll see y'all again. The season won't be done, but who knows? Maybe we'll try some good food, or we'll do a new workout. Zach started CrossFit, so he might be in a cast or in the hospital. He might be FaceTiming. He's so fucked up now from his workout, he couldn't even put the can in the trash can. We'll see you guys next week. Zach is up 1 game in the playoffs. He won the regular season. My goal is to knock this motherfucker down a peg. We'll get there. You guys have a wonderful night. Let me see what I want to play for you as an outro. You know what? I know what I want to play. I just had to type it. It was good to talk to you guys. I missed you in the week off. See you guys next week.